5:30 PM, Dubuque County Board of Supervisors meeting, Monday, April 22nd, 2019, precisely at 5:30 PM.
Well
We
done,
have
Chair.
no proclamations. We have the first order, or first item under item number 2 would be approval of minutes of the meeting of April 8, 2019. I do have one, what I believe to be a correction. It would be under the set date and location regarding the UTV, ATV. And I think the word not should be changed to no.
Give me a page on that. Which one you're,
I'm not, can you read it?
what page we talking about, either on a docket?
Motion by Wickham, second on Tuesday, April 30th.
I think it should be no public comment. So I think it's just a correction. Okay? And
I'm comfortable with that. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda meetings of April 8th as corrected.
okay. Motion made and seconded to approve the April 8th minutes as corrected. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried 3-0. All right, we have the item number 3, consent items. Normally, we would take these all at once. I'll read them. Item A, annual manure management plan update, Jeff Schmidt. B, annual manure management plan update, Hilltop/Jeff Lucas. C, quarterly review report of the sheriff. D, renewal of Class C liquor license, Judy's Runway Cafe and Catering. What's your pleasure on the consent items?
Make a motion to approve the consent items as presented.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the consent items. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried 3-0. Item number 4 on the agenda is public hearings. We have proof of publication under public hearings, item A, 4A.
I see them in front of me, and I will approve the proof of publications for the public hearings.
Motion to approve the proof of publication.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried. Item B, 4B. This is the public hearing, amendment to Chapter 22, Rural Address System, Dubuque County Code of Ordinances. And who is speaking on that?
I can speak to that.
Okay,
We had a request from a resident to change a road. That road on your agenda was road formerly known as Shailene Drive. They are requesting it to be named Thunder Ridge Court. This was reviewed by our GIS coordinator, Jeff Miller, and he is recommending approval of that.
okay,
We also have 2 other ones that came at the request of Jeff Miller as we were going through this process. There's a map in your agenda packet. It's road formerly known as Ryder Road. His request is to change that to Ryder Drive. And then the road formerly known as, is it
Gale.
Gale Lane, he's proposing that it be Gale Drive. And again, currently there are no homes on those 2 areas, but he's anticipating future development, which we just get this done ahead of time.
so does it have any impact on or cost for the folks who own the property adjacent to that, such as updating titles, abstracts, that type of thing?
He did not relay any of that because he said there are no homeowners on these. They're not marked.
I understand,
as
but
such,
there's
too.
there's property owners. I just, if it has any, changing it from road to lane or court or whatever, that doesn't give me a lot of heartburn. But if we do that and it costs someone, they have to hire an attorney and have a title search done. Yes, Jeff, you gonna speak to this?
Jeff or CJ talk about the,
It shouldn't have any effect on any adjacent property owners.
yeah. All abstracts are done and received and are time stamped. I'm sure the county attorney talked about, it. So they're at that moment. They aren't
The only
required.
potential cost is if somebody
Sell or
on
transfer.
Shailene Drive has one of those monster stones,
That,
you know, in their house or something.
There's only going to be one house. I don't know if she's here. Okay.
Here for the public hearing?
The one person that's at the end of that road is requesting that Shailene Drive be changed. So they got the petition and the signatures as required by our ordinance. So I don't see any issues with that either.
Okay. And that was generated by someone who lives on that road, the only one who lives on that road?
They're building a house at the
Okay.
end of it.
All right,
The Ryder Road and Gale Lane is just the connector streets to the highway. I don't know how it came across very well on the.
to
on the
151,
scans.
it's their access to 151, it's that, those had great intersections.
I'm just trying to make it so we don't have to hold anything up if somebody were to want to put a house there in the future.
And in terms of the attorney question, Dave, I think that it will automatically be updated in the abstract. So when someone reads their title opinion to prepare a deed or a transfer documents, it'll be noted in the filing. So there's not any reason for someone to have to go hire a lawyer now.
That's my belief. I don't know if the county attorney wants to or can speak to that, but that's my understanding is that they wouldn't,
okay.
only if there's a sale of transfer, then the
And
legal abstract reviewed.
if we're being assured that there's no cost to any taxpayer, I'm most likely gonna be in favor of this.
Government costs, that's what you're saying, right? There certainly would be private costs if you had some sort of marker or, labeling privately done, and you wanted to change it, then you'd have to change that. But there's no public costs that would be incurred.
There shouldn't be.
No public record costs. Is that-
Right. They would all just be referred to by their legal description. I mean, often you don't even see an address sometimes in
Okay.
the abstract anyway. So your resolution would pop up and oftentimes undeveloped lots don't have a number yet at times. So, it might be something down the road anyway that would be caught once it's developed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're guaranteeing there's not gonna be a citizen come forward. No, I get that. Okay, my comfort level is fulfilled there. I'm
Attorney
fine.
with a guarantee?
Yeah. All right,
I will add that in our ordinance, the Shailene Drive, which I don't think there's probably any road signs there. There's a section in there that says since they're requesting it, they take care of all the costs associated with that. So road signs or anything like that, but I don't know that there's actually anything there. Okay,
okay,
so, and she was aware of that
all right.
at the beginning.
I have a better comfort level. Thank you. All right, you've heard we need, I guess, to open the public hearing. So I will open the public hearing if there's no further information to be brought forth regarding the amendment to Chapter 22 Rural Address System, Dubuque County Code of Ordinances. If anyone would like to speak on this matter, please approach the podium and give your name and address, if anyone wants to speak on it. Okay,
I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
all right.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the public hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, what's your pleasure?
I've never been really Shailene. I mean, never been one of my favorite names, so I'm comfortable having it go away. I'm sure Shailene at some point will be offended in the future, but Thunder Ridge Court seems much more appropriate. So I will make a motion to approve the ordinance. Amendment to the ordinance. Do I need to read all of this or not? The first one? We start off with the first one, right? I'll make a motion to amendment to the ordinance to suspend the requirement that the amendment be considered and voted on for passage at 2 prior meetings.
Okay, is there a second?
And this is with regard to just Shailene or all of them?
All three, right? That was my understanding.
Second.
Only had a funny comment about Shailene.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I'll
Carried
make-
3-0.
I'll make a motion that the amendment be adopted and that the auditor be directed to arrange for the publication of the amendment in the official county newspapers as required by law.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried 3-0.
We have a new name in the county,
Okay.
Thunder Ridge Court, another Thunder Ridge.
All right. 4C, notice of public hearing, correction of notice of public hearing for sale and conveyance of real property.
It's interesting, you had mentioned Flexsteel earlier today, Supervisor, so that's related to this
Okay,
transaction. So apparently there was a discrepancy that was listed at 3.3 versus 1.32.
this is relatively short, and I think without someone to give us an explanation, I'm gonna read it. Notice of public hearing, whereas on Tuesday, May 30th, 2017, the Dubuque County Board of Supervisors held a public hearing for the proposed sale and conveyance of real property described as Lot 4 of the Dubuque Industrial Center South, First Edition in the city of Dubuque, Iowa, to Blue Steel 1031 LLC, and passed the resolution 17-172 authorizing the sale of the subject real estate. Whereas, notice of public hearing was published on May 24, 2017, listing the sale price of the subject real estate as $3,320,000, when the correct sale price should have been $1,320,000. Whereas the discrepancy in sale price was discovered during a subsequent title opinion, and the board has been requested to republish notice of the public hearing listing the correct sale price, and to thereafter hold a public hearing to confirm and ratify all previous approvals and actions with the regard to the sale and transfer of the subject property. Whereas, in order to correct the discrepancy, the following notice shall be published. Notice is hereby given that the Dubuque County Board of Supervisors will hold a public hearing at 9 a.m. on Monday, May 13th, 2019, at the Dubuque County Courthouse. Did I say 19th? Monday, May 13th, 2019, at the Dubuque County Courthouse, 720 Central Avenue, Dubuque, Iowa, to confirm and ratify all previous approvals and actions with the regard to the sale and transfer of the real property described as Lot 4 of the Dubuque Industrial Center South, First Edition in the city of Dubuque, Iowa, to Blue Steel 1031 LLC for the purchase price of $1,320,000. Per the order of the Dubuque County Board of Supervisors, Dubuque, Iowa, this 22nd day of April, 2019. Put forth by Denise M. Dolan, Dubuque County Auditor. So that is the notice of public hearing, and I think we're looking for approval of that notice.
Yeah, and this is just to correct the error that was occurred.
That's right.
So it's from a few years ago. I will make a motion to approve the notice of public hearing.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to post the, to approve the correction of the notice of public hearing and conveyance of real property. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried. Item 4D, zoning amendments. We have our interim zoning director. Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a busy meeting.
All right, I will read the notice of public hearing amendment to zoning ordinances. Number 1, ZC number 04-08-19, TC Ryan Farms LLC and Maggie Ryan, A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural residential. D2, ZC number 04-09-19, Douglas and Charissa Borwald, A2 agricultural residential to A1 agricultural. Item D3, ZC number 04-10-19, Douglas and Teresa Vorwald, A1 agriculture to A2 agricultural residential. Item D4, ZC number 4-11-19, Dean and Merlin Bartles and Ned Overbreckling, A1 agriculture to M1 industrial. D5, ZC number 04-12-19, Michael and Emily Bogie, A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural residential. D6, ZC number 04-13-19, Coates Development LLC, and Ryan and Jesse Coates, R1 rural residential to M1 industrial. Item 4D7, ZC number 4-14-19, Jeffrey and Don Manders, A1 agricultural to R2 single-family residential. That's it.
Make a motion to approve the notice of public hearing for items 1 through 7 as listed.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded for approval. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's carried. Item number 5, under procurement procedures, we have proof of publication, procurement procedures.
I'll make a motion to approve the proof of publication for the procurement procedures.
Second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. Receipt of proposals in 5B, and this would be supply and deliver maintenance rock for the Dubuque County Secondary Road Department. So we have bids. Five bids, thank you.
Okay, your first bid is from Wendling Quarry?
Wendling?
Quarries, yes. So they proposed to the M3, approximate tons 4,084. Their price per ton is $10.75. And they also proposed District M7, approximate tons is 4,290, and cost is $8.45. So I don't say that. The next bid is River City Stone. Their District M1 for 4,333 tons is $8.95, pardon me, $8.95. For M2 approximate tons of 4,463 is $8.25, $8.25. For M3, 4,084 tons, it is $8.25, $8.25. For M4, 4,188 tons, it is $8.95, $8.95. For M5, 3,920 tons, it is $8.10, $8.10. For M7, 4,290 tons, it is $8.10, $8.10. M8, 4,793 tons, it is $8.20, $8.20. And for M12, 3,987 tons, it is $8.95, $8.95. This one is from Bard Materials. Their quote for M1, do you want me to read the tons? They're all the same on each one. Do you prefer I?
No, I
Read
think
them,
specify, make sure what zones, be curious
Yep,
what
just
zone.
what district it is. Okay,
Yeah,
so
district.
District M1, the price per ton is $7.85. $7.85. For M2, it is $8.45. $8.45. For M3, it is $8.60. $8.60. They did not give a quote for M4. For M5, it is $8.60. $8.60. They did not provide a quote for M7. For M8, it is $8.10. $8.10. And M12, it is $8.55. $8.55. And they do have the bid bond with them. This is for CJ Moynia and Sons, and they only bid M4 at $9.90. $9.90. This is the final bid. This is Horsefield Materials. For M1, $10.57. $10.57. For M2, $10.33. $10.33. They did not make a proposal for M3. They did not make a proposal for M4. For M5, $10.20. $10.20. They did not make a proposal for M7. For M8, $9.03. $9.03. And M12, $9.37. $9.37. They did not? Oh, I do. And they did provide a bid bond as well.
Okay,
Is that all the bids?
that was 5.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the bids and to refer them to our county engineer for his recommendations.
Excuse me, second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to refer to the county engineer for his recommendation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried 3-0. All right,
Shocker. Let's see Kevin out here.
5C, receipt of bids, HMA resurfacing with millings and seal coat project on Riverside Drive and Mel's Court, project LOST 2002-73-31.
Just one bid.
One bid. Yes, I can guess that it's from River City.
I think it's from Matthew.
Okay. One and the same.
Your one proposal is Matthew Construction doing business as
Right.
River City Paving. Their total project cost bid is $496,114.74. $496,114.74. And they did provide a bid bond as well.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to receive and file and to refer to the county engineer for his recommendation.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to refer the bids to the county engineer for his recommendation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Carried 3-0. All right, item 6 on the agenda is approval of plats. We have item A, resolution, final plat of JQ Acres Number 2, Section 1, Table Mound Township, and our interim zoning administrator, Tammy Henry, will explain this to us.
Located 0.12 miles north of the city of Dubuque along Bellevue Heights Road with a total of 7.361 acres surveyed. The property is zoned R3 Single Family Residential. The purpose of the plat is to allow Corey to purchase additional land from his parents to allow for a detached garage in the future. The survey creates 2 lots. Lot 1 is a total of 5.304 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 2 is a total of 2.057 acres surveyed, and it will remain in current ownership and use. Lot 1 will use an existing field entrance off of Bellevue Heights Road, and Lot 2 will use an existing residential access off of Bellevue Heights Road. There were no additions or corrections required for this plat. The bank consent is signed and attached, and all signatures are current. This plat has been reviewed by myself as the plat's officer, and it has all the required signatures. I respectfully recommend approval. So it's a pretty simple thing that's happening. Corey has this piece here, and they're making an addition to it. And I can show you on this map what the land would look like first. He just wants to build a garage in the future, and his parents are willing to sell him the land. And so this is what his current lot looks like, and right now, it just wouldn't allow him any expansion. And it's zoned, you know, appropriately that we can do it without rezoning.
And you're recommending approval, is that correct?
Yes.
Any questions for Tammy?
Oh, pretty easy one.
Okay. Ann, any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the
Second.
plat.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the resolution for the approval of the plat for the JQ Acres Number 2, Section 1, Table Mound Township. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. It's carried 3-0. We're into agenda item number 7, and these are the action items. So item A is a resolution regarding the appointment of deputies, assistants, and clerks. And go to our HR Administrator, Dawn Sherman, for any guidance on this or input.
I have reviewed all 8 positions and recommend approval.
Okay?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the appointments of deputies, assistants, and clerks as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Carried. All right. Item B is the resolution approving the 2080 agreement with the city of Epworth for the Bobcat Road construction funding. And, let's see, is anybody here?
Sandy.
There's Mayor
Mayor.
Sandy Gassman is here. We have, the resolution is, and the accompanying contract, the amount of, for the county would be $144,215.61. And with this, as part of the contract, the city of Epworth will be responsible for the, all the snow removal regarding the paved portion of that road. Is that correct, Mayor Gassman? Okay. All right.
Yeah, just comments on this. I think this is an excellent example of cooperation and partnership between our county and our other small communities. We have probably the most of our 2080 agreements as far as government to government are with the city of Dubuque. As you probably know, obviously the county and the city, the 2 biggest government entities. But we have a few other 2080s with cities but it's usually for them paying us to do a little portion of their snow removal. And so this was an opportunity where we could invest in the development of a new subdivision that Epworth was proposing within their city limits. Half the road was county, half is city, and so I believe we're paying for half of the new road, the new development. So I was very excited to participate with Epworth on this project and look forward to seeing it completed. Well, most of it is completed now, I believe. I've rode on it, but the subdivision, that is.
And for those who are present and those who may be watching, the road is one half owned by City of Epworth and the other half by Dubuque County. There's a new subdivision going in there. Certainly didn't make any sense to have a road that was half paved and half gravel. And the discussion on this, as I agree with Supervisor Wickham, was cooperation between Dubuque County and the City of Epworth. And, you know, we endeavor to cooperate when we can with all of our towns within Dubuque County, so.
If I might just comment, and this is what I was talking to Mayor Gassman about out in the hallway, is that a previous board approved $75,000 on this project. It's on this road project, and the City of Epworth ran over that budget by 100%, basically. And so I was concerned that this resolution doesn't document that fact, that it was an original amount approved by a previous board, and that there's a need for a second piece. This is not something that normally we would have appetite for, I don't think. $144,000 on basically a one-block road. So I thought that when we discussed this, we were gonna put together a resolution that would, there was a previous resolution and a previous 28E agreement, but we redrafted the documents, not reflecting what's actually happened. And I think that I would have preferred to see the documents be amendments or secondary pieces to that, so that for history purpose and for boards coming next and in the future, they would know that that's how we went about this business, that it was a previous approval and then the need to join with them in cooperation. I don't disagree with what either of you have said, but that, I think that helps us understand better what what occurred, and that road is completed, and we are being, you know, the language of the 28E agreement that we're gonna sign tonight is proposed, talks about things that we're gonna do in the future, and in fact, we're not doing them in the future. To some extent, we failed to do them in the past. So that's my concern, that I don't think that the documents before us portray accurately what's occurred.
I will comment on this. We had a public hearing, public comment, public meeting that was asked for by the City of Epworth. This was approved by a previous board at, it was estimated at $150,000. They ran into considerable problems with the subgrade, and they ended up with a much bigger bill and came back and asked for help. No previous county funds were expended, so the previous 28E agreement had not been fulfilled, if you will. We did not write a check for 75 and then come back and write another check. They came back and said, here's what we ran into. They had documentation, they had their engineer, I don't know if that's his title, but representing them, showing the muck that they ran into. And again, in the spirit of cooperation, there was no way that the City of Epworth or that architect or engineer, knew what was under that subgrade. And some of you that work in construction know that it's not always possible to know what's 4 or 6 feet underground. So I was very comfortable approving this. The previous approval that was resulted in the 2080 agreement that really didn't get acted on because no money, no funds were expended, was done in full public with full public scrutiny at meetings, public meetings, as was this. So I don't know, I don't know how we can be more open about what happened. We've had meetings in the past on it. We had a recent public meeting, and, you know, I guess I can't help it if everybody doesn't come to every meeting. We make it available. It was posted, it was on an agenda, and there was a public meeting. I believe the Telegraph Herald was here. If not, they were certainly welcome and able to be here, so.
It was not
You
on
have
the
any-
agenda. It was not on the agenda. I asked that this be specifically placed on this agenda so that there would be at least one public comment time. And then the documents, when I received them, failed to address what had happened. So, you know, that's my position, and I've made sure that the mayor understands that I certainly support cooperating with our small cities and towns. That's where our population growth happens. That's where the energy in the county is in our small cities and towns, so.
And that's why I'm supporting this. So,
Yeah.
any other comments?
Yeah, I mean, one, your minutes will reflect the past history that Supervisor McDonough was talking about, so they're in the minutes. So just, you know, there was, yeah, all that, so that's good, they're all there. And I want to make sure everyone's, you know, familiar, there's no intent by anyone to, you know, change because it was an overrun. And this is probably the most important part of having partnerships, is that when you run into a problem and you underestimate it for Epworth, and, you know, their budget is probably, what, I don't know exactly what their budget is, but I guarantee you it's a lot smaller than the county of Dubuque. And so that gives us a little more leeway to be able to come in and to help them. Our general agreement was 50% of the project, and that's where we're ultimately ending up. So I want to make
Just
sure
so
we
we're
can, you know, as
clear,
long, go ahead.
The previous meeting and the previous public hearing was before a prior board and happened in another fiscal year, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing I'd ask the chair is if you would solicit any public comment at today's meeting as well. This was clearly on the agenda with the documents, and maybe we do have somebody from the public that would like to speak, or possibly if the mayor would like to comment.
I will certainly err to the side of having public input. So I guess if anyone would like to speak on this topic, I'll use the chair's discretion to allow comment on this matter, on this resolution. So, Mayor Gassman, do you have any comments? I guess I'd ask because you were involved in the original, and we basically, it was estimated at 150,000, and we basically agreed to split it with the city of Epworth. And then with the cost overruns, it almost doubled, and he came back and asked us to, even though it's a greater amount, to stay with the 50% due to the unforeseen changes. Is that accurate? That's correct. Okay, and it was, the discussion and the request was initiated by the city of Epworth? Yes, it was. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, anybody else would like to comment on this matter? Seeing none?
I will make a motion to approve the resolution related to 2080 agreement with the city of Epworth.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried 3-0. All right. Thank you, Mayor Gassman. We have 7C is a resolution approving the First Amendment to the Child Support Recovery Staffing Contract with the Iowa Department of Human Services. Is anybody here to comment on this?
be happy to comment. We have 3 employees that work for our child support recovery department. They are considered county employees, but we do get reimbursed 100% of their personnel cost. So their wages, all of their benefits, taxes. There's also some office supplies and some testing and sheriff's fees that we are reimbursed from the state for. So we amend this every year to reflect the new budgeted costs for those, which are included in your packet as well.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any questions from the Board of Supervisors?
Are these employees physically located in the Nestler Center with the rest of the department, DHS?
Main Street?
They're on the Main Street office? Okay.
You know, the test was for the county attorney's office.
Do they run on your letterhead? Are they on your letterhead, or do they run officially as your assistant county attorneys?
Not any longer. They're part of the attorney general.
Probably better pay.
But there were 3 employees, you know, that the thought was to keep them. Gone to a different bargaining unit, and my understanding is they would have had to start all over again. And they're longtime employees, right, Dawn? They're 25-plus year employees. So that's why every year we go through this apparently.
And do we know how long that this arrangement has been in place?
Oh, gosh, about 12 years, I think,
Okay,
give or take.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second?
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. We have item 7D, resolution approving releases of mortgage and deed restriction in Henry County for Jumpstart Federal Housing Rehabilitation Payment Program.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then item F, resolution approve federal aid, excuse me. Okay. 7E, excuse me, resolution approving the releases of mortgage in Des Moines County for Jumpstart Federal Housing Rehabilitation Payment Program.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
And I will second that.
Motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. 7F. Resolution, approve federal aid, SWAP, acronym SWAP, funding agreement number 6-19, STBG-SWAP-012 for project STBG-SWAP-C03187 FE-31 bridge replacement on Derby Grange Road. And I believe the swap funding is up to $400,000 on this project.
Did we get some notice or anything from Anthony about this? Without him, this is one we would normally ask him about, I think, the swap funds. Do you know, Dawn, if Anthony filed any opinion about this? Yeah, well, it's a Derby Grange bridge. And he's on vacation.
Yes, in his memo to us, he said that the board has already approved an agreement for this project, but we need to revise the agreement project number since the fund is coming out of DMAT's MPO. The previous agreement had a project number which indicated it was being funded out of RPA 8 region, which was incorrect. So it's just a correction to it.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried 3-0. All right, 7G is a resolution approving the necessary contract documents with Matthew Construction doing business as River City Paving for the HMA resurfacing and culvert replacements on St. Catherine Road, Ridgeview Drive, Bankston Park Road, Park Hollow Road, and Pilot Grove Road. Project LOST-2001-73-31. That is $4.1 million approximately.
Did we get a note?
Yes, our county attorneys are recommending approval.
It'd be awesome if they could just, when they travel from job to job, just keep the paver down, just keep her going. We cover a lot of areas from St. Catharines all the way to Bankston. Probably not the case, so I will approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Carried 3-0. All right, resolution, item H, 7H. Resolution approve necessary documents with Truck Country of Iowa Incorporated for one current model year heavy-duty tandem axle truck for the Dubuque County Secondary Road Department.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the purchase.
And is there a second?
I'll make a second, but I do have a question.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. It's open for discussion.
Did you receive something from Anthony? Did he submit this?
I did. He is recommending approval of the contract with the added options as detailed in the resolution.
And here's what I have in my notes, $116,578 plus extended warranties and heated windshield, brings the total to $120,193, less $25,000 trade-in for a total of $95,193. Is that the information you were
I
looking
just
for?
want to make sure that,
Yeah.
I mean, he left some instructions for us.
Yeah.
That were going to be guidance, and it's nice to
Okay,
take them into account.
all right. Any other questions or discussion on the resolution? I will make a motion that we approve the resolution.
I think we had a motion and a
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry.
You wanted some more
All right.
discussion.
You want more discussion? No? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried 3-0. Item I, resolution approve necessary documents with Tri-State Truck Equipment for the purchase of snow equipment to be installed on one tandem axle truck for the Dubuque County Secondary Roads Department. And my notes reflect that it's a total of $84,486.
Our county engineer has indicated that Tri-State Truck Equipment is the low bidder, and he is recommending approval of the contract with the added options as detailed in the resolution.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried 3-0. Item 8, communications. Proof of publication for zoning cases. I don't think we have any, do we? Okay, so we go to 8B from under communications, from the City of Piasta regarding an amendment to the Piasta Urban Renewal Plan. We have a letter in the Dropbox from the City of Piasta.
Crossroads to the future.
Yep. So I think these are receive and file, I believe, would be the appropriate.
Stephen File, and if you hadn't heard, the new Dollar General store
Yeah,
is proposed in this document, amongst other things, so
great,
that happens.
okay.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the communication from the City of Piasta regarding their urban renewal plan.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. 8C, damage claim from Richard Clemon for a damaged fence in the right-of-way. Looks like alleging damage of $115 to a section of fence.
Ron, you didn't hit this one, did you? Just kidding. Just kidding. Ron does my road. He does a great job.
Normally, I think we would refer these to the county attorney.
Stella's doing
Stella?
insurance now. We've moved
Okay.
that.
Okay,
As a communication, they get referred to ICAP for insurance purposes, so to notify you that there has been a claim,
okay.
but it will be sent out to our insurance company.
But for our purposes, will we be referring it to you?
I'm more referring it to you as a communication.
So what do you want us to do with it?
Yeah, so this is just for your,
I don't.
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
Second.
All right. Motion made and seconded to receive and file the communication. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Carried 3-0. Thank you.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Item 9, appointments. We have the Mental Health Stakeholders Committee, MHDD, One Advocacy Group, Consumer Family Member for unexpired term ending June 30th of 2020. And we have Heather LaGrane. One application.
Should be a great addition.
Okay.
And this is a committee we're trying to get to be a little more active on, is that right? Or trying to get more developed?
Right, this will be the I think the third person appointed to this commission since January. And what's noteworthy is that the stakeholders committee, there's more interest in it. And so we're updating our website. We have to get the accurate, if I ask Dawn, please get accurate membership on that committee listing on our website, because we have filled in several of the vacancies. And we need, a mission statement has been requested and a meeting schedule has been requested. I think we can fill and that would be very helpful to what we're trying to do with the region, with our mental health, adult mental health, and probably children's mental health too. So I make a motion to approve the application of Heather LaGreen.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded, under discussion. I was able to attend the most recent meeting, and I want to give Supervisor McDonough credit for helping to reinvigorate this committee, for lack of a better term. And an example of that is, instead of meeting quarterly, there's some hot button issues, and they're meeting next, I think, May 7th or something like that, instead of waiting 3 months for their next meeting. So I do agree, having sat in, that it's a committee that could provide support and good input. So, all right, all in favor of the appointment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried, 3-0. All right, vacancy on boards, that's for informational purposes. We go to item 10A, item 10A, personnel requisitions. We have a permanent, full-time medical records clerk at Sunnycrest Manor. And Dawn, do you have any comment on?
This is filling a vacancy that was open due to a promotion within the facility, so it's not adding any additional full-time employees.
Okay,
Motion to approve?
And I will second that motion.
okay, motion made and seconded to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. 3-0. So that was item 10. We're now to item 11 on the agenda, tabled and pending items. I see none. So we'll go to item 12, public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are concerned to that person and which are not agenda items. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Make your comments. However, no formal action on your comments may be taken at this time because of the notice requirements. So at this time, if anyone has anything in public comments on an item that was not on tonight's agenda, you can approach the podium and please state your name and address for the record and your comments. So the floor is open. Is there a handout? Is that-
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you. And do we have one for Alicia?
I need to make one though. I'll make one.
Well, we need one for Mary. Yeah, all right.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Menke. My address is 18840 Colony Road, New Vienna, Iowa. I would like to take this time to say thank you to the supervisors for appointing me to the Dubuque County ATV Fact-Finding Review Committee and allowing me to speak tonight on why you should legalize ATV, UTV use on designated Dubuque County roads. My husband Dale and I are self-employed dairy farmers in Dubuque County. We have the philosophy that we work hard and we play hard. We have been fortunate in the past to be able to get off the farm and take our ATV or our UTV and go four-wheeling in Utah, Colorado, Arizona, Upper Michigan, Wisconsin, and of course, locally in the counties of Clayton, Delaware, Albuquerque, and Jackson. Our UTV is registered and insured, and we make sure that when traveling, we have the registration stickers needed for the state we are traveling to. The one thing that I have observed is recreation unites people. Friends and family getting together to spend an evening or a weekend afternoon four-wheeling on the roads of neighboring counties, stopping at a small-town bar and grill for a sandwich, visiting an Amish store, or having to go to an ATV, UTV dealer to get one of our four-wheelers fixed. The Iowa Off-Highway Vehicle Association hired a consultant to analyze ATV, UTV usage and economic impact in Iowa. The survey reported that off-highway vehicle owners spent about $28.9 million outside of the state of Iowa in 2018. If that had been spent in-state, it would have had generated $34.9 million in Iowa industrial output and 374 jobs. An estimated 220,829 Iowans operate off-highway vehicles. That is 7% of the Iowa population. I have spoken to several businesses in the neighboring counties about the economic impact allowing ATV, UTVs on their roads and what that has done for their business. Del Clay Implement, Edgewood, Iowa, increase of sales of ATV, UTVs. They sold 66 units from 2013 to 2016. They sold 133 from 2016 to 2019, over a 50% increase. K Motorsports in Maquoketa, Iowa wrote, their business is having the best sales ever the last 2 years since the roads have opened, up nearly 50% in sales. Cint Motor Sales Dubuque wrote they have a 30.5 increase in sales from the start of 2015 to the end of 2017. Lori Franzen from Marley and Me Bar and Grill, a co-owner of a small business in Spragueville, Iowa, wrote that she has positively seen sales go up from the ATV, UTV travelers. Kathleen Robinson from The Hop in Canton, when asked if she has seen an increase in business, her reply was yes, definitely. She has stated that she has seen no disrespect from any of the ATV or UTV riders. She said that this is a win-win for all involved. Ryan, owner of Bubba's Pub in Lamont, Iowa, wrote, on a nice weekend, we will see an extra $500 in sales. Looking forward to this becoming bigger and better. Jen Glennis from Bootleggers in Millville, Iowa, wrote on January 12, 2019, they had 20 people that were on UTVs, and in January, they had 25. Small businesses in Dubuque County responded to a survey sent out, all in support of the ATV-UTV riding in their communities to generate more business. This included Barrett Auto, Epworth, Noonan's North, Holy Cross, Breitbach Feed, Balltown, Pomp's Tire, Darsville, Fillmore Barn Grill, Fillmore, Delaney Auto, Farley, McLeese Repair, Brothers Market, and Lions Service Center, all in Cascade. We cannot forget our small businesses in Dubuque County. I also made numerous phone calls trying to find out that if a traveler stays in a hotel or motel in Dubuque County, how much of the sales tax stays in Dubuque County. I was steered toward contacting Joel Gabrielson at the Iowa Department of Revenue in in Des Moines. After my conversation with Joel, he emailed me a report stating that in 2018, Dubuque County received local option, locally imposed hotel motel funds of $2,381,741. This total comes from a 7% locally imposed hotel motel tax collected in Dubuque counties by the cities of Dubuque and Darsville, and returned 100% of those collections. The fund use is 50% for the cities and 50% for other action that could possibly increase the tourism traffic in the area. So with that in mind, Dubuque County could use that tax to help pay for signage, maps, a website geared on what roads are open in Dubuque County for ATV-UTV usage. I also emailed the Jackson County Deputy Terry Rowling and Clayton County Sheriff Mike Sergi and asked them both the same 6 questions. Here's what they replied. Number 1, has there been violations or disrespect to the ordinance that have been set? Jackson County replied, a few registration or driving on state highway citations, nothing major. Clayton County replied, few warnings have been given for children with no helmets and or speeding. Number 2, has there been any disrespect to the roadways or the property that lines the roadways since the ordinance has been passed? Jackson County replied, there has been no major complaints of any destruction of the roadways or ditches. Clayton County replied, he is not aware of any destruction of any property. If I may also add, our Dubuque County engineer, Anthony Margette, reported that the Delaware County has not seen any destructions to the roadways. The 3rd question, looking back, would you change anything regarding the ordinance? Jackson County replied, the only changes that I would like to see are the hours of operation. He'd like to see them from 4 a.m. to 1 hour after sunset. As of now in Jackson County, it's 1 hour before sunrise and 1 hour after sunset. Clayton County replied, not off the top of my head. Number 4, do you believe this has had a positive impact on your county? Jackson County replied, businesses in the county have benefited in profits in such as with restaurants, convenience stores, and sales of UTVs. Clayton County has replied, he has seen more ATV-UTV riders staying at campgrounds from counties far away, not just local. There is a dealership in Elkader that is doing well, and he thinks it brings more people to the area. Number 5, have you had to hire any additional law enforcement since the ordinance has been passed? Jackson County replied no. Clayton County replied no. Number 6, have you received a lot of complaints since this ordinance have been passed? Jackson County replied no. Clayton County replied, to be honest, we haven't had a lot of complaints. Epworth, Farley, Sherrill, Cascade, Holy Cross, and Worthington, all small Dubuque County communities, have opened some of their streets up to ATVs and UTVs. I personally spoke to the New Vienna City Council, and they agreed to consider opening up some of the streets in New Vienna if Dubuque County opens the roads. The council agreed that this would give business to the downtown lounge and generate tourism into the New Vienna community. I feel that the Dubuque County Supervisors must remember that there are still a lot of small communities in Dubuque County that are trying to survive this ever-changing world. I would also like to take this time to address the concern over safety. Currently, I have one of the top 10 most dangerous jobs in Iowa. I farm. When Dale and I walk out of the house in the morning, we assume the responsibility and the risk of what we are taking on for that day. We do our best to be aware of the surroundings and do every job conscious of the dangers at task. When we take our UTV out for a ride, we also stay aware of our surroundings. With all recreation, there is a risk of getting hurt. Biking on Heritage Trail, although the DNR does a great job of putting red flags up where there is washouts, I have no complaints. Boating on the Mississippi River or skiing at Sundown Mountain. I trust that if this Board of Supervisors pass this ordinance, they will do their best to choose the safest routes for the ATV, UTV riders to use. If I can leave you with one final thought, you cannot be shielded all your life, otherwise you forget to live. Please legalize ATV and UTV riding in Dubuque County. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would have a question for you, if you might.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question actually for you, if you would mind staying at the podium. Dawn, could you give me my copy of that, please?
I thought we normally didn't engage people at these, but.
If Dubuque County would proceed on a trial basis with trial road routes, at what point do you think, with all the research you've done, a lot of what you've told us is in the packet that's on our website, at what point do you think you would consider that the trial basis had failed? What would be a key indicator for you?
I guess that's a good question. I don't know how to answer that because I don't think it will fail. I think this whole group is very respectful. I'm the face of the ATV, UTV riders. That's what I want to get across to the supervisors tonight. We're not a bunch of renegades out there tearing up roads, throwing trash out. So I guess I understand if you want to do it at a trial basis, that's totally understandable, but I don't see it failing. So that's my.
You don't know what an indicator would be of failure.
No.
Thank you.
Does that answer? I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thanks for the document. Appreciate it.
Right. Anybody else?
Right. I like how you gave him the stiff arm. Must be.
Diane Burkle, 12961 Circle Ridge Road, Sherrill. I just want to thank Mr. Wickham for responding to my email. It was very kind of you. 8 couple left in 2017 and we went to South Dakota. In South Dakota, you can ride any street, any county road, any state highway. You cannot ride the interstate. I did not feel unsafe. We rode from Hill City to Deadwood, from Deadwood to Spearfish Canyon. We passed semis. I did not feel unsafe. We take our grandchildren. We travel probably 3 weekends a month to Wisconsin. We take our grandchildren, we put them in car seats, we put them in helmets. I'm very for this. And I respect what you put in the paper, but I didn't feel you had a number of 2,000 people. You said you had a lawyer, other prominent people, but how many did you have? Can you tell me that? How many
what?
people came to you and said, I'm not for this? Was it 200? We had 2,000 sign a petition.
Understand, but even tonight, I have been approached by 2 individuals. Tonight.
Tonight, you were 2 people. How many do we have here? We have more than 2 people here tonight.
I think the point is that people continually and constantly talk to me about this.
I understand what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, but I don't feel you respect what we're trying to say.
And so my question would be the same to you. At what point would a trial basis, you would know that it had failed?
I'm with you also. I don't think it's going to fail. I've rode in Wisconsin, like I said, 3 out of 4 weekends. I don't see it failing. We are respectful people.
So if there's a death that occurs, that wouldn't be a failure?
There's a death with motorcycles. There's a death boating. my nephews, and I'm not trying to make fun of this, but my nephew is a representative in the state of Wisconsin. And he said to me this morning, he saw in the paper where a man jumped off a boat and he was paralyzed, and it's a good friend of my other nephew. And he said, so is Dubuque County gonna outlaw boats? People get hurt, people take risks, like she said. We're just asking, please give us a try, please. I don't see it failing, Ann, I don't. I'd like to take you with us some weekend and ride and see. I just want to leave my driveway and explore Dubuque County.
Would
Some
you
Friday
trail-
night, get on our UTV, ride to Holy Cross, eat supper, and come home.
Would you trailer?
To Holy Cross?
Anywhere? Would
We
you
trailer everywhere. We're going out to Colorado this year.
Would you trailer in Dubuque County?
Yes, but I seriously would hope you would consider opening up the roads. When we went to South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota, I just Googled it, has 74,417 people in Rapid City, South Dakota. You can ride in that city. That's a lot of people. The tourism there is unreal, that you see UTVs out there. And like I said, I never once felt unsafe. And if you consider it that maybe people think it's going to be an alcohol issue, you could make it that we can't even have a drink and it would be fine with me. I don't drink. So I don't see it being a problem. And I know you've already stated. So I'm asking, please, Mr. Baker and Mr. Wickham, please vote yes. Thank you.
I would like to ask you a question. Do you think that all the towns in Dubuque County that have passed the ordinance, that that's a sign of failure on their part?
No, I think they're the smart ones. I'm sorry. Look at the revenue it brings in. I mean, we're gonna go down to Jackson County on June 22nd on a ride for the kids. Look at what that's a benefit for that, and we've got people that are gonna go with us.
But you might be surprised to know that just today, mayors have contacted me and said they don't want the roads open because they don't think they can handle more ATV traffic in their city. So cities that have ordinances that allow you to drive in their towns don't want the county roads open because they don't think they can handle more ATVs. So I think that probably would be a surprise to you. That would be your perspective.
I don't understand what they can't handle. We're gonna ride through the town respectfully. What do they have to handle?
And then you'd be surprised to know that.
You're saying you're listening to those people, but you don't seem open to listening to us.
Do you understand my point about?
Yes,
That you would be surprised by
I
that.
respect your opinion, seriously, I really do. And I spoke with you at the depot before election, and you were, then, of course, it was before election, and you said, I'm open to, and you didn't sway one way or another. So, I'm sorry you didn't get my vote, because you didn't seem like you were,
Sam, you and I visited before, I think.
no, so I mean,
Fair.
but I seriously, please consider it. Like she said, it's people that it's our age group. Young kids don't have these UTVs. You might have a few, but it's the age group between 50 and 80. A couple that's gone with us to South Dakota, yes, a couple goes with us, they went to South Dakota, they're going to Colorado, they're 75 years old. So it's our recreation. I challenge you to ride with me coming home from work some night, and I'm on Mud Lake Road, and I come around a corner, and bicycles are riding 3 and 4 wide. I have to come to a complete dead stop, and I have to follow them up Mud Lake Road. People aren't gonna have to stop behind us. We're at least gonna, not that we would be going the 45, but at least you can still go with the traffic a little bit. I feel riding a bike is more dangerous than just UTVs. And people have gotten killed on bikes.
Actually, Joe Kennedy disputes
So
that in
we-
terms of Dubuque statistics.
And I'll comment on the mayors. I don't know what mayors Ann's talking about, but I've been contacted and have talked to numerous mayors that have the ordinance, and they like it, and they're looking forward to perhaps, if an ordinance is passed, being able to connect dots between the towns.
We're not asking to ride in the city of Dubuque, but you can ride in Rapid City, South Dakota with 74,000 people. We're just asking to ride Dubuque County roads. So.
Thank you
please.
for your comments.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
My name is Gary Sent. I'm a co-owner of Sent Motor Sales in Dubuque, Iowa. We've been in the business in Dubuque since 1959. My dad and my uncle started it. Our business started off with motorcycles, and of course, it's turned into UTV, ATV sales, which have been really over the top since Southwest Wisconsin, Jackson County, Delaware County, and Clayton County opened up their roads to UTVs and ATVs. Our primary customer before that was always farmers, which they still buy a lot of stuff also. By passing this ordinance to open up the roads in Dubuque County for UTVs and ATVs, it would give a great opportunity for individuals and families to see Dubuque County in a different way. And it would help local businesses like Sent Motor Sales and others generate more business, which I know I've had people say, well, you just want this to pass so you can sell more product. That's what I do. We sell more product. So I appreciate if you would consider it. Most of the people that I have for customers are this age group right here. They're not out causing a lot of problems. So consider it if you would. I thank you for your time. You have any questions?
I do. Since you're in the industry and you buy from the manufacturers, or at least a sub-dealer, if not directly from the manufacturers, how do you square, and maybe you can educate me as well, the manufacturer's warning or general operator's manual for off-road use only?
Correct.
How do you square that with communities
Well,
using
off-road-
on-road use now?
Okay, off-road use only because none of them come with blinkers on them. Okay, so we're not gonna put them on the road because we don't have blinkers. But Jackson County doesn't have it, but I know Clayton County, Delaware County you've got to have blinkers in your machine. Well, there's a lot of companies that have all of a sudden come up with kits to put blinkers on them. So no, the manufacturers don't recommend them because they don't have all that stuff on there. You can get into Southwest Wisconsin because most of all their roads up there are hard surfaced. The tires they come with are for dirt, gravel roads, that kind of stuff. Well, that's been a big part of our business now. We sell complete wheel assemblies for the guys that are going up in Wisconsin because they need tires that are more suited for hard surface than the dirt and gravel roads. The dirt and gravel road ones will work all right, but they wear off like an eraser because they're soft. So the safety part of it is, a lot of it's because they don't come with, well, blinkers are a big thing. They don't come with them from the factory. So they don't recommend going on the road with them.
Could you comment on other things they do come with, other safety items?
They all have headlights, taillights. They do come with brake lights on all of them.
Okay.
Safety belts, shoulder harness are standard in all of them.
Front and back, or?
Front and back.
If you have a back seat,
Yeah,
assuming.
if you have back seats. They come standard with shoulder harness and seat belts. Probably 99% of them that we sell all go out of the store with windshields and tops. Well, the windshield's the safety part for the front. Not as many people wear helmets in the UTVs, but almost everybody does on the ATVs. But in the UTV, you've got your full roll cage on it, windshield up front, you've got your shoulder belt and harness on, so it'd be like being in my car or being in a Jeep with doors on it, not on it. But any of the machines that we sell that go basically over 27 miles an hour have doors on them. The old utility machines from years ago did 27 miles an hour, they had no doors on them because farmers were constantly going in and out. Once you get above that, the safety part of it is you need doors. Just in case somebody wasn't buckled in and somebody took avoiding that dead coon in the road and hit somebody out.
I guess I had a question for you, because I know your you know, from high school and from the
Dave and I
fact
went
that
to high
you
school
were
together.
quite a motorcycle rider and you're in the business. Are the UTVs and ATVs as safe or safer than motorcycles?
I would think they're a lot safer than a motorcycle, and I ride a lot. In fact, I'd have been here tonight, except Mother Nature really downpoured when I left the store. I know that the motorcycle, I'm getting off track here, but I know the motorcycle industry, the jackets I wear like they've got body armor in them, and I wear a helmet all the time. That's not the Harley style. They're more into not wearing the helmets. But on the UTVs, ATVs, they've got so much more protection with the roll cages, the shoulder harnesses, the seat belts in them already. Even though I love riding my motorcycle, yeah, it's probably more safer if I was in a UTV than it was my bike, but I'm not giving up my bike.
I'm not knocking motorcycle riding.
I know. We've had
former-
this discussion.
Yeah, if not for a hip replacement and back surgery, I'd probably still have one. So.
Come on, Dave, I had a new hip put in too, I'm still riding my bike.
And so Gary, a question for you.
Yes.
A trial of this would fail, in your opinion, based on what?
I heard you ask that question, the two other ones, and my first thought was, you asked a trial would fail, what would it be? My comeback on that would be, what would be a trial if it succeeded, what would that be?
And-
I
but
don't know
my-
how to answer either one of those.
So you can't describe either for the supervisors what a failure would be. Is it a death? Is it 40 tickets? Is it consumers and citizens calling the county on 911 to report problems? What is a fail?
I don't know what that would be because we've never had it before. So I don't know what a fail would be. To me, any death would be a fail, but we have that happen every day on the cars. I don't know where you draw the line. Here's a prime one. When mopeds in Iowa are at 14 years old, you can have a moped license. I have 3 daughters. They all went through that moped craze. Was I a little over the top when I took them out the first time riding with my motorcycle and following them around, getting them ready for it? They were my daughters. I was scared to death to have them on the road. And even I remember my wife coming home and she said, well, how is she? I said, she's a great rider. Were you gonna let her go by herself? No, I don't want to. She's my baby. But
How does that relate to a failure?
I guess you have to let them go on their own after a while. And I don't know how to tell you what a failure is gonna be. I would hope that we don't have any deaths. I would hope we don't have any speeding tickets, you know, call it drunken driving, any of that kind of stuff. Most of the people I see here, like I said, are this kind of age group. We may have younger ones on ATVs, but our UTVs are not a cheap product. So you end up with more of an adult, adults buying them just because of the price of them.
So if we prohibit ATVs, that would be better?
No, because there's a lot of adults that do use the ATVs. And it's kind of a different style riding. Even on motorcycles, we've got 3-wheel motorcycles now and 2 wheels. Well, I have no interest in riding a 3-wheel, but maybe someday I will. Just like ATVs, they're a little more sportier than a UTV, but they're single person. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are a few machines around that are double passenger, but most ATVs are single passenger. You'll probably see most of the people on ATVs have helmets on, just because they've got no protection on the roll bar, they've got no seat belts. So your question to ask what a failure is, I don't know how to answer that. I wouldn't want to see any deaths, I wouldn't want to see any tickets, but is there a possibility it could happen? Yes. Driving out of my store today, the traffic was really, really bad. And I think about it every time I pull out of there on my bike. I think, wow, our traffic's gotten terrible. And I really have to be defensive riding.
One more question.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you can answer it, but so you've got all these different looking things that either are like you said a motorcycle with 3 wheels, or the Can-Ams, or the Spiders that look like hybrids of a lot of different things. Why aren't the UTV manufacturers going through the same process they are to get them to be street legal? What's the difference? Why are they outliers and still staying to off-road?
Because until the last 2, 3, 4 years, all this public stuff just come into riding. It's always been an off-road machine. But all of a sudden now we're getting so many, like South Dakota's got so much out there. They're actually starting to have a Sturgis. Everybody's familiar with Sturgis in the motorcycle race. They're having a Sturgis on side-by-sides and ATVs out there now. I had one of my customers attend it last year, and he said it's gonna be bigger next year. You'll probably see the manufacturers get into more of the blinkers standard, more of the safety stuff for being on the road, because all this has happened like in the last 3-4 years. They've never had a reason to put blinkers on them because they've always been off-road. Well, now we're really accelerating on the public riding. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Okay.
Good evening. I'm Vincent Hansen at 10666 Charlie's Lane, Dubuque. And I want to thank you all for your time that you spent on this with the 600 pages. You know, I had a teacher back in high school and he had a sign on the wall, Mr. Bob Timmerman, and he had said, change is good. Change is not easy, change is good. And it's going to come with a lot of effort on your part, our part, but you can't deny what people would like to do. And I think with the right decisions by yourselves, I think this is very possible, would work. And and there is a failure. I think the failure may be nobody wants to do it. To me, that would be a failure, nobody riding. But that's all I have, and if you have any questions.
You live in the city, you said?
Charlie's Lane,
City of Dubuque or?
Dubuque County.
Oh, Dubuque County. Okay, no problem. I thought you lived in the city of Dubuque.
No, I'm out in the county. And, the north end of Dubuque is some of the most beautiful places in Dubuque. So and I hope we can take advantage of that. And I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else for comments?
Hi, my name is Terry Pfeiffer, and I'm from Schuler Heights Road. And when I want to go riding, I have probably about 3/4 of a mile to get to Jackson County. And there's a lot of us out that area that want the roads open for the simple fact that we would like to be able to go not only to Jackson County, we like to stay in Dubuque County and be able to go to, say, Bernard or Zwingle or any way out that way, maybe even get over to Bernard. So we're not asking for a lot of roads to be open. We would like just start out small and let you people see what we're actually really doing. I mean, we take our families and we go. And it's exciting and fun because the kids really get to see some of the country that you don't get to see in a car. And we're not asking to open up the whole Dubuque County, every roadway. We just want some to start with, and we can learn to grow, just like Jackson County did. They started out small, and now the whole county is open down there. They have very little problems, very few problems if they have any. Sure, you might get some younger kids that go by your house and throw some dust. That's gonna happen. We spend a lot of time over Wisconsin. Every weekend or so, probably 3 weekends out of the month, we might go to Wisconsin. Why do we want to take our money to Wisconsin and spend it over there? Why can't we leave it right here in Dubuque County? I wish you would please just look at that for us. We're not, look at us, we're not kids. We're not 18 years old and want to run up and down the road like we're nuts. We just want to be able to go and have fun with our families. And Ann, I know you didn't know what a four-wheeler was or a side-by-side until, anyhow, we showed you one out at the Key West Parade.
That's
And
true.
you said, oh, that's a lot different than what I thought everybody wanted. And at that time, you sounded like you were really on our side. And I know at that time, a lot of people voted for you because we thought you were going in the right direction. And I saw in the paper where what you said about the way the laws are written right now, you would say no. And for that, I say, I understand your problem there, because we need our own laws in our own areas and how to do things. And that's all we're asking for. So if you would just kindly give us a little break, we'd appreciate it, because we'll govern ourselves. A lot of people will take care of this. You ain't gonna see no trash thrown out from side-by-side riders. I'm sorry, we don't do that stuff.
And yet, I've received calls in the last 2 days from several people indicating that children are riding ATVs on the roads.
Okay, guess what? Start with mom and dad. They are wrong. Why are they letting them kids do that? They should not be doing that. I would not let my grandkids take mine. $20,000 machine and let them go up, run around with it? No, I'm sorry. No, thanks.
Well, I don't think they're riding around in the UTVs, or they're riding around in your side-by-sides. They're riding around on an ATV.
Well, that's
But
where
they're-
parents come in and they have to teach their kid right from wrong.
But they're
And-
riding in groups, and they're
And if
riding
we
on
see
double-blind
that,
roads.
we ask the kids, do your mom and dad know where you are and what you're doing? You know, and of course, they want to take off right away. They don't want to admit that,
Right.
you know, they're out on gravel roads and doing donuts and all that crazy stuff, because they don't want their mom and dads to know what they're doing. So just give us a chance to let us prove
What do we do about those kids?
that we can do it.
What do we do about those kids?
Pardon me?
What do we do about those kids?
Well, I don't know, but I just say, please give us a chance to let us govern ourselves and show you that all us people here, we can do it.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
All right, podium's open. Anyone else?
Ron Schweitzer, Dubuque County, 13490 Marcella Court. I want to thank everybody who's listened, you know, from Dave to Jay, to Ann, to CJ, to Anthony, to Joe Kennedy, for listening to our whole group, what we've all had to say, and, you know, sat down and talked to us and everything. I mean, it's been a long uphill battle for us all to listen, and you guys were really listening to us, and that, and Dawn for going to the citizens meeting, taking notes and all that, and it's been a work in progress, and all of everybody here that's been coming to the meetings, following us. So I just wanted to say a thank you for everybody for listening to what we all had to say on everything.
So Ron, I have a question for you.
Sure.
When you and I had lunch with Michelle,
Yes.
you indicated that you really wanted all the roads to be open. And Mr. Pfeiffer saying very small, very few, and as they border Jackson County. How do the two of you feel about that?
Well, I ain't saying all the roads. I'm saying all the roads except for the handful of them that we've kind of discussed that were unsafe, but majority of the roads, yes. I think what he was saying is like Jackson County, they started out small and worked their way bigger, which they are now. All the roads are open.
And when we had lunch, we talked about there would be the opportunity for a trial basis.
Right, you suggested about what if we just had a road route from point A to point B, if I would like that, and I said that was the only option, yes, but if I had to make a choice on it, I said I'd prefer all of them open except for the handful that we deemed unsafe, very unsafe, you know, like Sundown Road and some of those other ones.
And so what do you think you would recognize as a fail of a trial policy?
That failure to trial policies is not letting us do it, trying it. That'd be a failure right off the bat, you know.
But if there was a trial, what would the failure look like?
How can you answer that? I mean, you could go look at all the other counties, Wisconsin and Jackson County and Jones and all of them that have open, and they're not failure. There's no failure that I could see.
How would it be defined as a success, Ron?
Letting us do it. Let us go out and enjoy ourselves. Let us, you know, help self-police the roads on that, you know, where, you know, you see somebody doing something, you're gonna take note of it and you're gonna try to stop them. You're gonna walk up to the guy and say, hey, or what are you doing this for? You know, let's keep a good positive outlook for our recreation we want to do on that. You know, as of right now, if someone does something on their machines, they're speeding or doing whatever, they're gonna get a ticket like they do in their automobile. It's the same policy. You get so many tickets, what's gonna happen to your automobile insurance? It's gonna go up because it's on your driving record. You get a DUI, it's on your driving record. You can't drive your car. You get these kids that are under 18 years of age, and they're under the trial period on their driver's license, they get a ticket, they get their license yanked for 3 months or whatever it is. And then the second time was it 6 months where, so they can't drive a car. They can't drive to go to work or school or nothing. They gotta ride the bus then. It's the same thing as an automobile. So it's not like it's a free-for-all, like these young kids are gonna go out tearing down the road. They may do it once, but once they get their license yanked, they'll be thinking about it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else comment?
Bill McCarthy, Cascade, Iowa. Your comment on, trailering, from Wisconsin. I live in, right bordering Jackson and Jones County. I've been riding those counties quite often, and it's right out of my garage. It is awesome. It's really cool. No trailering. Weather's good, go. If it gets bad, I can go right back to my garage. No trailering.
Really, nothing we do is gonna impact you then.
Sure. I've got a lot of friends up here up north. I want to go up there too. I want them to come to Cascade, Jackson and Jones County. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for all your help.
And a question.
Sure.
You live near the Jackson County line?
It's, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. But we have people that live near the Clayton County line.
Yep.
People that live near the Delaware County line.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
So it's really awesome to leave my garage with my group of riders and let's go for a ride today.
When you
And-
leave your garage, are you in Dubuque County?
Yes. Yep, and we connect. Our city is open. We tried on a trial run, a few small routes in Cascade. It went extremely well, no problems. We now have opened up all routes in Cascade. So we can go to Jackson County, Jones County from Dubuque County in Cascade. All legally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Jim Alden. I'm a co-owner of Brunken Equipment. We sell the Can-Am line. So you know Danny, because he's been on your committee the whole time, Danny Eartham. So I'm just going to talk about our reaction to all this at our business. We've been able to,
Can I just, where are you from? What's your address?
Dyersville, Iowa, 201 2nd Avenue Southeast. The business is in Worthington, Iowa, Brunken Equipment.
Okay.
So anyway, our reaction to this is just like Mr. Cent here, our sales have gone way up. We've retained more people full-time. We've gave pay raises to our guys because the business has done well, which all reflects to, our standard of living in Dubuque County. But the number one thing I would say is it's been good for our business. It's been good for our employees. And I do enjoy seeing our customers, have good things to say about riding because that's what we hope for. And I don't care what you do in this world, there's a risk with everything. I hear this all the time. We can't do that, we might get sued. Well, you know what? Anybody can sue you for anything, anytime they want. That can happen. But the reality is, we can't protect everybody all the time. They choose to do things that might not be safe. I got a picture of my daughter the other day, 50 feet in the air on a rock wall in Colorado. Kind of looked at the wife and went, that's kind of interesting. Not what you'd want to see your daughter doing, but she assumed the risk for it, and she did it safely. So, in the end run, it's going to be good for the economy of Dubuque, and that's really all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Dan Eartham, 204 East 2nd Avenue, Luxembourg, Iowa. Obviously, I was on the committee. It was a good time. Thank you guys all for having me. putting up with me, all the good stuff. And at the end of the day, I mean, we all have our things we like to do. Some of you guys like driving vets, some of you guys like going boating, motorcycling, RVing. I mean, it's all things that we do when we're not at work. We go to work so we can do them things. One of the things that obviously everyone in this room wants to do is ride ATVs. And where you do it is wherever you can, wherever you have time for. There's a lot of people, like obviously I talk to farmers a lot every day of my job, and there's so many farmers, a bunch of them in this room, they get done doing chores, they're exhausted. Obviously they're not gonna trailer their side by side and go ride somewhere, but if they're in Dubuque County, and most of them are on gravel roads, and they legalize this, yes, mom and dad, whatever, gonna jump in a side by side, take a little cruise, maybe go see the neighbors, BS a little bit, come back home, maybe stop up for supper, because, hey, we're riding, I don't wanna make supper. So that's the kind of stuff that I think we're gonna see a lot of, a lot more little journeys to your next town and stuff. And also, like, all the grunt work's done for you guys as far as your guinea pigs. I mean, Delaware County, Clayton County, Jackson County, them guys have had this for a while now. And even, like, we helped as best we could with Jackson County when they started it. And they were one of the few in the whole dang state that did this. And everyone thought they were crazy, and they had little trial runs and did this and that. And as they got more momentum and more people on board, it took over. Delaware County was the same way. When Delaware County passed it, as you were saying, there was how many cities that said, nope, we don't want them in our towns. Guess what? I think to date now, every town has opened it up as an
Where is
ordinance. Delaware County. So they were all like, yeah, we don't want this. They're scared of change, just like what he's saying before. But you start seeing, oh, shoot, Earlville's got a bunch of four-wheelers and side-by-sides at the bar having a drink or having a little food or whatever, stopping for restroom break, hitting the gas station for gas, grab some snacks. Manchester's like, oh, we're missing out on this. And all of a sudden, guess what? They open up their city. So yeah, you might have some mayors calling now, but I'd be willing to bet, you write them names down, and you guys pass this within a year, I'll be willing to bet them mayors will be calling back and saying, hey, we kind of changed our stance on this, and we kind of do want to see this in our town. I mean, these things don't take up any room. You can park more motorcycles and four-wheelers side-by-sides in a spot than a few trucks or whatever, So parking's not an issue. Like everything, though, there's always risk involved. Boating, we've been boaters my whole life, grew up boating. My daughter was 3 months old first time we took her on the river. Now, we know bad stuff can happen, but you put stuff on, you put equipment on, life jackets, proper life jackets, put them in the proper seating, be careful, and yes, some jackass could come along and crash into us on a jet ski, and we could all get thrown out, and she could drown, and God knows bad things can happen. I mean, we live in a world where that's just obvious. I mean, you can't protect everybody, and that's just part of life. But there's a lot of people that are interested in this, and at the end of the day, you guys all know it. What are they gonna hurt? I mean, honest to God, if any of these guys in their four-wheeler side-by-side cross the center line, hit another car, unfortunately, odds are you guys are gonna be the ones that are gonna suffer. That car probably gonna be like, oh, yeah, they might have nightmares, they might have a tough time getting out of there, but it's the same thing on a motorcycle. You wanna get on that motorcycle and not wear a helmet, they don't call them organ owners for nothing, but that's your choice. You pay taxes, you work hard, it's your choice at the end of the day. Just all we're asking for is give us a shot. I think you'll be pleasantly impressed. I mean, all the counties around us already have done this. And yeah, no one wants to run downtown Dubuque or anything with these things. In fact, we'd prefer probably to stay out of Dubuque. Just secondary roads, that's where we're at. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments?
Kimberly Drillard, 208 Oak Forest in Epworth. I'm in favor of the ATV, UTV road routes. We definitely enjoy our time out there, but a lot of times we have to go out of town. We spend money out of state. I know I have a lot of family and friends in Delaware and Clayton County. They enjoy a lot of the stuff there. There's always going to be resistance, but change, you're going to have that. And that's a big step. It would be a big change, and everybody would just have to get used to it and it become part of the norm. I mean, after a while, it would be like no big deal, you know. They're out there. I think we deserve the chance to be able to experience this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments? I'm seeing none. I want to thank you all for coming and expressing your opinion on this matter that was not on the agenda. And also, I guess, make sure you're aware of a meeting that the supervisors will be addressing this issue on Tuesday, April 30th at 5:30 p.m. And as I understand, is it going to be in this room or are they moving it to the North Courtroom? Currently it's here, but it will be in the courthouse. And if it's changed from here to a courtroom, you'll be so notified.
I think we had that discussion, if I can interrupt. I thought the statement was in this room. And I thought we discussed that and passed that.
There's not gonna be any public comment, and it was agreed it was gonna be in this room.
That was my understanding as
Okay.
well. I would just stick to that.
And
unless the board wants to change it.
Okay. The only comments I heard was from our head of courthouse security about accommodating a potential crowd.
Agreed, we talked about it at this
Yeah.
meeting about 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago, 2 weeks
agree.
ago, and we went through all this for about half an hour. And so, you know, I wasn't gonna go through it for half an
Yeah.
hour for just to be
Yeah.
changed, so I
agree.
You know, unless we wanna postpone the meeting, sounds like we're not clear. Yeah, I pointed up to that same
possible
thing in
that
the
people
half an
may
hour
end up
meeting and
sitting
said
in the hallway.
it says 70 and,
Yeah.
we need to keep it safe.
We can make some,
We have video as well. We'll be
and we
able to
can make some
videotape it.
arrangements in here to make some more room as well.
We did spend a few $1,000s on beautiful video taping.
Yep.
And great mics. So the video and audio is pretty good from YouTube. And so we can live stream that. Are we still doing that? Okay. So it's like a 15-second delay.
Is that what we're gonna do then? Live stream it?
We're on right now? That's what I thought. I had looked at it before and I wasn't sure if we were continuing to do that.
All right, if there's nothing else, then I think a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I will second that.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, carried, 3-0. Thank you all.
Okay.